Hi everyone, I'm Sandy. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute since I've recorded something for everyone. I am just still, trying to get my head around more appropriately, a new job and lots of life changes kind of going on. My son got married and it has been overwhelming, but in such an amazing way. I feel very just incredibly proud of my son and his new wife and can't wait to see their journey together. So that took up, some time as well, rightfully so, in July. And I just am now kind of getting back to maybe where I can have a little bit of normalcy. But then, of course, I'm leaving for camping for 10 days coming up, so I'll be gone again. But I wanted to take a few minutes and pop in and say, hey, how are you? And also to just share what I read in July. Spoiler, it wasn't much. And kind of what my plans are for August. And it's already into August when this video will go live. So yeah. I haven't been, like I said, making a lot of videos. I do kind of have a schedule set up, so that's amazing. But we'll see. I've made schedules before and then threw them away. So on top of that, I haven't been reading much. And part of that is just, by the time I'm done with the day, I just want to sit and don't want to think about anything. And so the only things I can handle are fairly light topics or easy books, and not too much of it. Thankfully, the people that I've had buddy reads scheduled with are either in a similar position or were very gracious in kind of keeping to a schedule that I was comfortable with. So that's also been really good. But yes, just not great for reading. Great for other things, all important things, wonderful things happening, but reading kind of took a back seat. So what did I actually end up reading in the month of July? So today's kind of, did I say this, partial what I read, partial what my plans are video. What I read in July, I ended up reading two books, but one of them I don't remember many details about. I read it right at the beginning of July, and I have forgotten much about it. It was Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll. I have it rated as 4 stars and that I liked it. That was my general impression. Beyond that, don't remember much. So I'm going to talk about the one book I do remember quite a bit about, and that is this one, Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson. This book is incredible. I read this with my friend Sonia and Kristen over at Enter the Book, and it did not disappoint. I'm sad that I did not read it earlier than that. There is a movie adaptation of it as well, starring Michael B. Jordan. If you've seen that but haven't read the book, read the book, because there's so many more stories in this that they don't even touch on in the movie. Bryan Stevenson is an attorney, and this is his story of how he worked with death row inmates, often with ones that were wrongly incarcerated. The stories that he shares in this are maddening, horrifying, inspiring in a lot of ways, but it is a tough read, but it also, like I said, provides a lot of hope in it as well. What amazing work this man does. I mean, I can't even imagine. The other thing that I said in my group read with this is it makes me want to go back to work and be an attorney to help people. It is that kind of inspiring. Very, very, very well done book. I would imagine this may end up on my top reads of the year because it was just so impactful, so powerful. So yeah, if you want a good book, you want to learn more about some of the justice system in the United States and about how people can be wrongly convicted, or not even necessarily wrongly convicted, but extenuating circumstances into things that had happened, this book definitely will go into a lot of that detail. He talks about women in prison, young kids ending up in prison. The story in this book, which is, his name is Walter, his story was particularly just devastating because he was with 10 people the day that what he was accused of happened, and he still got arrested and put on death row. It's just an absolutely incredible story, and all that his team, Bryan Stevenson's team, had to do to go through to prove his innocence, all with that ticking clock of a death sentence. So absolutely inspiring. Highly, highly recommend. This book made me think, okay, maybe I could read again, because I did like this one so much. And then I put it down and didn't pick up really another one. So yeah, I thought it would be it, but no. So that's all I read in July. Now, one book is what I read in July. So what do we have planned in August? I'm really honestly trying to keep it pretty low key, lightweight in August. What I would like to do is finish some of the books that I have started. So the first one that I haven't finished, which is horrible that I haven't finished this book, is my own book club pick for the month of July, and that is Flamethrowers by Rachel Kushner. I have started it. I am about 80 pages into this particular book. It's not particularly working for me at this point, which is part of why I ended up putting it down. And I haven't been inspired to pick it back up again. I will pick it up, but my goal would be to finish this one before I have my next book club pick, which is in September. So I'm hoping that I can get to this one. That would be a great goal. The other thing is I have an audio book going of this book, The Good Soldier Schwieck, and it is really, really a good book. It's about a 30-hour audiobook, and I'm about 12 hours into it. You can see that this is not a small book by any stretch of the imagination, and I would like to get this one finished as an audiobook. I would love to say I'll sit down and read it, but that's probably just not going to happen at this point. So it is my book I listen to when I'm commuting in on my bike, or when I'm driving down to my mom's. This is a book that I'm listening to when my brain can handle it. What I found was really interesting is I can listen to a book on the way into the office, but on the way home, I want music, I want something else. So yeah, that's kind of where my brain is at. So I'd like to finish that one. And then the other one that I had started and haven't finished is actually one out of this bind up, which is the ABC Murders. I am reading this in honor of Alice over Alice in the Giant Bookshelf, and I wanted to make more progress and I just didn't get to it. So that would be the other big goal that I would like to try and do. So that would be 2001 books and finishing some that were on my favorites project, but the rest of my projects have kind of taken a big left turn and I haven't been making much progress. Who knows, maybe I'll turn it around, but it's not looking good so far. So the other two books that I have selected for August are likely reads. I would be surprised if I don't end up reading them. And the first one is actually this one, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie by Muriel Spark. This is actually the Up to No Good Book Club pick for the month of August, and we meet the first weekend in September. This one is also on my 1001 list. It's also pretty short. I have to be able to read this one. That poor book club. I have not read any of the last few books. That book club has Shelley Swearingen. It has Fraser from Springboard Thought, our friends Angela, Sonia, and Deb in it. And it's just such a fun group and I love meeting with them. I just feel bad that I haven't read any of the books recently. They are all incredibly understanding, absolutely understanding, but I should be able to finish this one, right? I think I can finish this one. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this 100 and something page book is doable in August. The last book and the only other book I will officially commit to is 100% a nostalgia read, a brain candy read, and something that will represent for Garb August. Garb August is a fun event that I know is hosted by a wide number of booktubers. One is Criminali, or Ollie over at Criminali. And this particular book, I found it at Half Price Books. Yes, I found it at Half Price Books when I was out shopping with Gina Stanier a couple weeks ago. And I found it and was like, oh my gosh, this is a romance novel that I originally read back in the early 90s and have remembered its premise since then. So that just tells you I was very young. Well, not that young, but I was young and I've always remembered it. And so the book, I'm kind of embarrassed to show it. The book is this one, Gentle Rogue by Joanna Lindsay. And look at this. Yes, who is this on the cover? That is Fabio. Fabio is on the cover of this book. I remember the premise of this lovely lady whose name is Georgina or George or Georgie, depending on who is talking to her, gets in some, trouble in England and decides that she wants to go home. And instead of booking passage on an English ship, which she doesn't want to do, she wants to be on an American ship. She ends up posing as a cabin boy for the captain, and things progress from there. one of my favorite stories of all time. As far as a romance novel goes, like I said, I read it when I was young. I really want to read it again. I'm super excited about this one. Out of all of the books that I have, I'm definitely taking this one camping with me. You know, if you've followed my channel for a while, I go camping for 10 days in August. No Wi-Fi, no cell phone, no nothing connection. I also don't read a lot while I'm up there, but this book is going with me. It is. It's going to go with me. And I'm going to say I'm probably going to read this. I really want to go sit down at the beach, at the lake with my folding chair and maybe a cocktail of some kind and read it with this cover showing. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. So hopefully kind of this combination helps me get out of my very big reading slump and it helps me progress towards my goals for the year. That would be lovely if that could happen. How do you get out of a reading slump? I'm just super curious. I did pick up a romancy novel over the weekend and I did actually finish it. It was Love in the Time of Serial Killers. It wasn't really great, but I did finish it. So yeah, what do you do? I'm super curious. Love to hear your tips, any kind of information you could give on how to get out of a slump. Some people say read a favorite. That Joanna Lindsay book would definitely be that. Some people say read like your favorite genre. So maybe that qualifies as well because romance is one of my favorite genres. I think I'm going to stay away from anything too heavy. I think that would be a mistake right now and see what I can come up with. So yeah, but thank you again for everyone for sticking with me. Like I said, it's been busy. It's been amazing. I have no complaints right now other than my brain is working. My brain is definitely working right now. So would love, love, love if you leave me a comment. If you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, pick some emoji to leave for me. I always love to see those. And thank you once again for sticking with me. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone, thanks. Bye.